everybody, my name is Amber Kivett with Kivett Kinetic Solutions. I'm an athletic trainer, a strength coach, an agility coach, and I do a lot of bodywork and massage techniques. I'm here today to present with Life Pro Fitness a variety of their different tools for eliminating pain in the knee or associated with IT band syndrome. Life Pro Fitness has an amazing variety of product line of massage guns as well as whole body vibration platforms. Today we are going to feature a couple of the different massage guns that you can use in managing and relieving pain associated with any sort of knee injury, post-operative, but also as well as IT band. For today, I'd like to share with you the anatomy that we're dealing with here so you have an understanding of why we're doing what we're doing. When we're looking at the quads here in the front, hip flexors is also another name for those. I'm not going to get into specific muscle names, but there is a lot of attachment that comes down here to the knee. At any given time, if any of those tissues get really tight, then it tends to pull from the knee, which makes for your source of knee pain. Those can come from any angle. So we've got several different muscles coming down and crossing over. We've got some that come straight down and attach right to the top of the knee. And then we've also got the big IT band, okay? IT band actually starts as a muscle up high, but it is an actual connective tissue sheath. So it starts as a muscle, the tensor fascia lata, and it comes down and attaches and it splits here at the knee joint. So not only does it attach here, but we've got several different attachments from other tendons, ligaments coming into position. So the IT band, its job is to connect all of this to the knee itself. So we have tissues in front of it and tissues behind it and tissues above it and below it. If we're looking at the back side, we have, again, this muscle kind of flows right in with the outside of the IT band, and then we have all the hamstrings that come over and cross over the knee joint. So several different sources of knee pain. And so for today, I'm going to kind of humor you. I have taped my leg to resemble those muscles because not everybody who is watching has the natural muscle definition to be able to distinguish where to use the different massage guns. So I'm going to demonstrate to you the assortment of massage guns, which tips we're going to use, and then this right here is our main quadricep. This is the sartorius, which crosses over into the knee. We have our inside quadricep muscle, our vastus medialis, we have vastus lateralis, and then we have the giant IT band, which connects us all together into the knee joint. So I could show you on my muscles myself, but I wanted to be able to relate to those of you who know nothing about anatomy, kind of how to find all of this on yourselves at home. And the other beautiful thing about using these different massage tools is that you don't have to take your clothes off in order to do it. You can do it right over your pants. So I wanted to demonstrate that with you so that you have an idea of where to locate on your pants how to find these different muscle groups. So tonight I'm going to feature with you the Sonic LX with several different tips, and I'm going to feature with you the Pulse FX here. The Pulse FX is really cool in that it has the 4 different tips, very easy to hold. Flip the switch and we've got 3 different levels. Battery is internal, so there's nothing to switch in and out. Plugs into a charger that goes into the wall, has this wonderful carry case, okay? And what comes with this is this awesome charger. So this, you can just dock directly into it. Okay, and it charges while it's in the stand. Other competitors, you have to pay $100 to have that extra stand. This is completely included, and it fits nice and easy inside the case for travel, so that wherever you go with your attachments inside of here, and then with this, we can hinge this back down into position, and you can actually have an attachment on there so that it's ready to go. This one you can actually stick in the case exactly as it is, and it closes up nice and neat, and there you have it. What I love about the Life Pro massage guns is you can pack them, you can check them in your onboard luggage, you can carry them onto a plane, and they work for a variety of different things, making it very, very easy to travel. So, back to where we're at here. Okay. So I want to share with you the different tips that you can use for IT band syndrome. So what exactly happens with IT band syndrome? So we have a lot of musculature, as I showed you earlier, and when we run or when we do different activities that put extra stress on those muscles and they get tight, the connective tissue, which attaches the muscles from your hip into your knee, is what is going to cause the tension on the IT band. So in order to minimize the tension on the IT band, because you can't officially stretch the IT band, you actually use the massage gun in order to ease the tension out of those muscles, which in turn will take the tension off the IT band, which connects it all together. So not only are you going to work on massage with the IT band area, you can use this vibration. Is actually really good on the IT band. It actually responds to vibration, but you're going to spend the majority of your time in the big blood-rich muscle groups that are willing to loosen up a little bit easier, soften up, that get a lot of blood flow, because with that healing blood flow, the body recovers, we release the hormones, we're getting toxins out, pain threshold goes down, and then we don't have the pressure on the pain receptors that communicate with the brain that there's a problem. So a lot of great benefits with having one of these on hand. A lot of professional athletes, this has been a secret weapon for them for the last several years. And so when it started coming out, what they were doing on the sidelines, in the locker room, now we're making it available to you at home so that you can train like a pro on the regular basis. And you don't have to be an athlete. Maybe you want to do this for work. If you sit all day at your desk, and you feel that you're really stiff when you're getting up and moving around, do this at lunchtime on your lunch break. If you have to keep one at your desk, as you can hear, they're actually pretty quiet. I have some FaceTime calls that are way louder than this, but this is actually pretty quiet. And this is on level 1, okay? If we're looking at the Sonic LX, I'm gonna put the dampener tip, this little springy looking guy, I'm going to stick that on here for now, and we're going to turn it on. This is on the highest level that it has, and I'm right close to the speaker so you can hear how loud it is, or lack of how loud it is. So it's actually very quiet. Level 1, we barely got anything going on here as far as sound goes. So it is something that you can keep in your office without other people around you being disturbed. But point being, if you sit at a desk all day and you get stiff, this is a great thing to have handy with you at work, or if you're traveling, if you're an athlete and you're getting ready to go out to perform, you can keep on the sidelines, soccer players, basketball, football. I use these on athletes all day, every day in my private practice, and many of my clients have this, and they love it because it has 9 levels. We have the different attachment tips. So again, I'm going to go on into how you can use this on your leg in order to help with pain, okay? So here we go. So here is my leg, okay? And I'm going to just relax my leg, so I don't want full bend because we're putting in a stretch, and I don't want it locked out. So make sure it is unlocked, okay? From here, I'm just going to start here. So my kneecap is right here. If you can see that. So my kneecap is right where the tape ends here. I'm just going to start right above that. Nice and slow, 1 inch per second. Just work my way up. I'm not feeling much here, so I'm going to crank up the intensity. That should be able to accomplish something. Okay. Very slow. If you're doing this for a warm-up, you can go much quicker, because we're trying to warm up the muscles. We're not trying to deal with inflammation and pain relief. We're just trying to generate quick blood flow to that area without exciting things. But what I'm doing when I do this, be aware, I am putting myself into the sympathetic nervous system, getting my body ready to go. Basically, it's go time. So my body is ready to jump and run and be on alert. So we call that our fight or flight system. So we want to be at a level, and so I'm level 3. We want to be at a level in which your body can settle into a relaxation mode so that it will heal. And so we call that our parasympathetic nervous system. And we're going nice and slow so that I can mentally feel what is happening. Hi, Gilbert. I would be happy to show you the attachments. Let me show you here real quick, and then we're going to get back to what I was showing with how to relieve the pain. So the attachments for the Sonic LX, we have this. It looks like a goalpost, but it's more of a Y. If we are looking at the Pulse FX, okay, the goalpost is more of a Y. Or I'm sorry, it's more of a U shape, and it's more firm, it's harder. This one's quite a bit softer, and it's more mobile, so you can feel it's going to be more shock absorbing, and you're going to be more comfortable with this in bony prominences. We have this blunt tip. Some people refer to this as the thumb tip. So if you're trying to use this for trigger point release, really good for that. It's also really good if you're just trying to break up an area of soft tissue that's a little bit harder to break through. This one is much easier to break through if you can tolerate it. We have our pointed tip, and if we're comparing this pointed tip with the pointed tip of the Pulse FX, this one is not as sharp, and it's more spongy, but you're not able to get that tip into some of the tighter spots that you can with that. So depending on what you're wanting to use it for, I like to refer to this as the paddle attachment. And you can use this is really good for what we're doing right now, for IT band release, for quadriceps, for hamstrings, for plantar fasciitis. This is an awesome one for plantar fasciitis. If you do it right, you can work it around the shoulder blade. And on the Pulse FX, we don't have that tip, but we do have this common round tip. And I think most of the Life Pro fitness guns come with that. And this is the tip I use the most with all of my clients. And we have the same one here. It's just a little bit bigger, but it is squishy. It is absorbing, so it's not firm. You want to avoid getting an attachment that is really hard and doesn't have any give, especially when it's a ball. It's not going to feel as comfortable for whomever is receiving that treatment. And then we have the flathead, which is what I'm going to be demonstrating with the Pulse FX. So that being said, let's go on into the Pulse FX. And again, quiet, so I'm on level 1. Level 2, level 3. So not too loud. Okay, so let's do a comparison here. So I'm going to lay this down here. Hope it doesn't wander away, because again, we're generating vibration. That's on level 3. Let's crank this one up to a level 9, and let's hear what the difference is between both of these running at the same time. So I can tell you from my experience with our competitors, this is still quieter with both of these running at the same time than one that I have used in years past. So not too loud at all. And that's on the high settings. If we crank this down to a low setting, you can see how easy that was. Now we're back on 1, and there they are working together. So as you can see, the Pulse FX is definitely more aggressive naturally than the Sonic LX. So if you are a much more sensitive individual to pain, or if you've got fibromyalgia, those who have fibromyalgia are going to have more of the IT band syndrome pain naturally without having anything else getting tight. So as you can see, this is kind of a cool experiment here. So I'm not touching that IT band tape right now. The tape that's flopping back and forth, it is getting vibration from where I'm at right now on the tape. And that's how much power this massage gun has. It has the power to affect this over here without even being on it. So those of you who have actually been on the IT band using different products, it's very, very painful. If you have IT band syndrome, it is really painful to be right on the IT band. Really, really sensitive, especially when you get up higher. So if you can get the same exposure of the vibration, because the vibration is what heals, if you can get that same vibration to the side of the IT band, and you can get the same, as you can see on the outside there, that tape is vibrating pretty heavy. I'm kind of glad I did this kind of tape. This is really cool to see this way versus doing it with the muscles, because depending on how much adipose tissue, fat tissue, you really don't know how much the muscle is actually getting and the soft tissue is getting. But with this tape, you can actually see really well how it affects everything above, below, and around it, because like I said, this tape is stuck to me. It's just painter's tape. going up into my hip. So IT band is going to come right here. My ball socket is right here. So we're going to come back down. Very, very slow on the IT band. When you go up and down the IT band, you're just exciting it. So again, you're kind of putting your body into a state of fight or flight, sympathetic nervous system. So we're wanting to stay calming. So that's why I'm going much slower. Okay, and again, here I am on the inside of the thigh. This is a very, very sensitive spot for most people. So be very cautious with yourself when you're working the adductors or the inner thighs. There's a lot of soft tissue there. We naturally carry a lot of fat tissue there. Everybody's always wanting to tone their inner thighs. So just be careful through there because it's very sensitive. But you can see me working this. I'm working this whole area at the same time without even touching it. So you can tell how powerful that massage gun is. Pretty cool. I'm glad we tried that. Okay, so let's compare apples to apples here. So I'm gonna screw this off with one hand, and you can see how easy that was. It's not a ball bearing switch attachment tip. You actually have to rotate it out from the housing here. So we're gonna take that one out, and I'm gonna get this flat tip so you can see it's exactly the same. And we're gonna slide it in here. I'm gonna use one hand so that you can see how easy this is. And I'm gonna give it a little twist. I like to give it a little twist just to make sure it's locked in because you don't hear a click with these. Okay, and so here we are. We're on level 1, okay? And I'm gonna give you level 1 on the other. So there they are at the same time. Definitely a huge difference. So if you are a sensitive individual, level 1 might be more powerful for you. Stick with the LX, the Sonic LX, because, or you can also do the heated Pulse LX. If I remember right, so the Pulse LX is our heated massage gun. Yeah. When you have fibromyalgia, when you have MS, when you have a variety of different pain syndromes, you want to stick with a lower level so you can actually tolerate receiving the treatment, because there's nothing worse than having fibromyalgia. I actually have a case of fibromyalgia from a bad car accident. So I am super sensitive below the waist. I can take a beating with the Pulse FX. I can take it on a level 3 in my shoulders and in my back, but anything below the waist, in the quads, in the calves, the hamstrings, the hips, I can only handle about a 5 or a 6 at most on the Sonic LX, and I can only handle a level 1 on the Pulse FX. So it's very, very strong. And you can see, again, here we are. Now, right here, my knee joint, my joint space, my joint line comes right across here, and I can actually apply this to the joint line, which is very sensitive to most people, especially if you've got knee pain. Okay, so the other thing that I would recommend is you're moving your massage gun. You can slide your leg in and out, or your foot in and out, and change the variation of the muscle length without actually having to lift the leg up off the ground. So we're not wanting to shorten the leg in order to elevate. We're not trying to create resistance here while we're using the massage gun. We're just wanting to keep the body in a relaxed state so that we can generate blood flow to the area, we can generate healing. I think we received a research study earlier that they're showing that actually they're trying to find a way to provide treatment to soft tissue and muscles without activation, and the massage gun is the secret to doing that. So pretty cool how that works. So again, IT band syndrome, we are working all the soft tissue above, below, in front of, and behind it, and we don't want to spend too much time directly on the IT band because we're not going to help that. The IT band, again, when we're looking at the anatomy, there's a lot of stuff going on here. For those of you that aren't familiar with human anatomy, a lot of muscles. Anything that is white does not have a lot of blood flow and is very high in connective. Anything that's red, very nutrient blood rich, willing to stretch, lengthen out a little bit more. If you are really tight right here, you're gonna pull here, which is going to place tension on the IT band. So again, with most of my clients, I don't spend a lot of time on the IT band. I spend time up in here, in the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves. I spend everywhere else around it because you can't do a lot where there's white. It's not heavy in blood flow. It doesn't give very easily. Very high levels of pain in those areas. So I can't justify putting people through pain if there's another way out. So I hope you enjoyed visiting with us tonight. To again review, this is the Pulse FX, and it comes with 4 different attachments. And all those little attachments go right here in this little carry case, which is really nice. It zips up, and it can be used in the charging dock. When it's plugged into the wall, it just clips right in, and there we have it. And that's not even on a flat surface, so that shows you how stable we are. One thing I wanted to share with you is if you are wanting to see how it pivots, if you push this button and you can pivot it down, okay? I did that all with one hand. Pivot, we can lift up. It's a little bit harder to come up, but once you push that in and lift up, it also goes all the way straight, okay? So really easy to use this on your neck and shoulders in a straight line position. And then when you go into travel mode, then you have to fold it down so that it can be positioned in the case. This folds nice and flat. We're going to assume that all those attachments are already in that little case, and then we close it up and then it zips shut, okay? Same thing here with the Sonic LX. The Sonic LX, we can hold it like a hammer. We can hold it underhand ergonomically, so if you have poor grip or if you have really painful hands and you can't hold very well, you can cradle it here in the palm of your hand, which makes it very convenient to use. And then from here, I'm going to pull off this tip because this one does not travel with the tip. And again, I'm doing this one-handed so you can see how easy that is. We're going to drop that here in the case. This drops right on in there like that. Your charge cord goes right here, and then that zips up shut just like that. So side to side, very comparable in size. Like I said, I have traveled with these. I have taken these through carry-on luggage at the airport. I have checked both of these in my suitcases at the airport. You can travel with these. You just have to make sure that they're obviously turned off while they're in flight. But quite handy to have on the road. A lot of professional athletes are traveling with these now. If you're in youth sports, specifically, you know, one of the 2 million little leaguers that's out there, you need to have one of these on the road with you all the time because it really helps in minimizing a lot of the stress and overuse injuries that we're seeing in kids. And what we're seeing in kids nowadays is what we used to see in adults in their 30s and 40s, and we're seeing them in kids ages 9 through 12. So that's crazy. 26% with elbow injuries of children 9 to 12, and then with hip and knee, we're seeing I don't remember the last statistic, but it's a ridiculous high number of ACL reconstructions because of all the different muscles that are tight and structures that are not strong and kids that are playing too aggressive. So definitely something to have on hand when you're getting ready to play sports, definitely something to have on hand after surgery. I use both of these tools on clients within a week after post-operative total knee replacement, total hip replacement for easing muscle tension from being disabled and from being down. And they work really, really well for my clients who are in pain, immediate release. So again, thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed visiting with us today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to mention them below, and we'll try and read your comments as we can. Don't forget to click subscribe so that you can follow our future posts on how to use the different Life Pro Fitness tools in the future. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the massage guns and then the other variety of massage guns that they have on hand, you can select them from the carousel below. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.